Alrighty, we are here. Hello, weary travelers, and welcome to the Come and Go Tavern. My name is Sheela Ornthalis, and I'll be your hostess this afternoon. Today's kitchen special is chicken with a vegetable medley. I believe today, the medley is made up of peas and carrots, and I think there were a little bit of tomato in there, but you'd have to ask one of the cooks about that just to kind of make sure. But anyway, it looks like Irene is currently available for a full-service package, if you know what I mean. But if you see anything or anyone else on the menu that you're interested in, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. It is time for our 7th TTRPG Tuesday. We're going to be continuing with work on ProtoDrive, and specifically the iterative world-building section. We got the first 2 big tables for that section done last time. It's 2 out of 4, so let's see if we can't round it out this time, you know? But anyway, I'll be open to answer any questions that you might have about ProtoDrive or TTRPGs in general. I know that earlier, or just before I started stream, there was an announcement that Ghost in the Shell is getting its own TTRPG using the Forged in the Dark system. And unfortunately, well, yay! Fucking fantastic there. Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorite pieces of media of all time, particularly standalone complex. But the negative side of that is that it's going to be set in the Arise universe, which is the worst of all the Ghost in the Shells, and does away with some of the important world building done in the original manga. So that's great, right? Yeah, I'll be a bit open to talk about that a little bit more as well. But it's just nice to co-work sometimes, so feel free to join us with your own projects. As always, I'll also be available for comments, questions, and concerns about the tavern, as well as regular old conversations, so don't be afraid to fill that chat with discussion. And I've just realized I never moved my foot pedal today, so yay! This is going to be a little fun. Whoop. Okay, yeah, foot pedal has been moved. And the mini player seems to be actually doing its job today. Friggin' hurrah and huzzah. Let me make some adjustments to OBS because it started not playing nice for some reason recently and rearranging itself every time I open and close it. Don't know why that is. Let's get that window over there. There we go. Okay. Cool beans. All things as they should be. Okay, so let's take a look where we are now. Character progression, course challenges, iterative world building. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I can actually get rid of these sections because these are the tables that I'm working on right now. Let me go check in the actual Lancer core rulebook. I might want to kind of sort of transpose, I've already started adding some text that describes the table that isn't present in the original Lancer book. Is it going to be important to have these smaller sections down below? No. Okay. At least not as far as the original core book is concerned. So let's go through this and delete that note to myself. Shoot. Whoop. Okay, so that's where we'll be picking that up. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so we finished both the world type iterative world building. Okay, so that's heading 2. I guess it would be heading 3 if I wanted to go for another one. But if I put another heading in there, part of this table is probably going to get knocked onto the next page. And I don't necessarily, like, we don't necessarily need that here, because this is all iterative world building, you know? So let's take... And for whatever reason, this is defaulting to all left indent. Okay. So, defining natural features. Let's take a look at the text we've done before. Local environment is what the characters experience on a day-to-day basis. The result rolled from this table and the world type table seem to be at odds. This can often create interesting storytelling opportunities. So, defining natural features. These are the parts of the natural world and the party's local area. Give it its uniqueness. I'm not happy with that sentence, but I'm going to keep going just because, like, I can come back to that and roll on it a little more. These are the parts of the natural world. Its own unique flavor. There we go. And it's at least one defining natural. Okay, so these are the parts of the natural world in a given area. Parts of the natural world that give each area their own unique flavors. While everywhere has at least one defining natural feature, something that normally shaped the town or city when it shapes the culture and infrastructure around it. Some places have several. Okay, so these are the parts of the natural world that give each area their own unique flavors. While everywhere has at least one defining natural feature, something that normally shapes the culture and infrastructure around it, some places have several. Okay, good. That works for me. And we're staying within that, like, 3 lines maximum. Okay, so let's take a look at how they did this. Okay. Environments. Ooh, we're gonna need another, yeah, we're gonna need another column here. So let's... Oh, that's... nope, not what I wanted. Merge cells. Merge. And once I get done with this, I am actually going to replace the current defining citic feature table with a copy of this one, just because I know we're going to need the same thing for that, and I don't want to go through this line by line again. It doesn't take super long, but it takes long enough, you know? Oh, hello? Hello, Weather! Hello, hello, hello! How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm going to copy that. Paste that. And replace this. Okay. Delete table. There we go. Relaxing at home, trying, watching the Superman movie. So excited to see Sheila. Fair enough, fair enough. I appreciate you. Thank you for the reminder to hydrate. Okay, so let's take a look. Hydrated nicely and plump. Hey, you know what? Fair enough, fair enough. We always love a little bit of moisturization. Okay, so I think I am going to unmerge these cells again. And actually merge 2 cells. Hurrah and huzzah, the boring part of setting up new books. Did a lot of adding like new stuff to the selection of music for TTRPG Tuesdays. What time of the day is this supposed to be in Animal Crossing? Oh, 10 a.m. rainy. Okay, cool. Had a cough there for a second, excuse me. Ugh. So Nintendo, or I shouldn't say Nintendo, Sting Entertainment, and oh goodness, who else was it? One of the original publishers and developers of Baroque, announced that Japan was going to be getting a combined Switch version of all 4 Baroque games, including both the original version that was released for PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn, as well as the Wii version, plus a couple of spin-off games, but they haven't yet announced whether it's going to be coming to the United States or not. And I desperately need it to come to the US and or other, like, you know, Western areas, because this is a game, and like, it's such a good game. Oh, it's so fucked up. It's made by the same group behind the Shin Megami Tensei earlier stuff. So not Persona, the thing that spawned Persona. So like extra fucked up demons and monsters and stuff. And Baroque cranks that up to 11. And it just has such a wonderfully horrific aesthetic to it. That reminds me of how you struggle to find hot swole ladies online. Like all that comes up are those dehydrated bodybuilders that are valid. But one time outside, you saw this swole lady who was hydrated, and you just like a goddess. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No. If you've never like seen Baroque, like I mean, just listening to it, you get like a lot of like. Hopefully, you're understanding the kind of very '90s goth industrial vibes that the game has. And it's very much a game where you literally attack and kill God with an angelic plasma rifle. It's a fucked up game. I love it. But yeah, hydration. Hydration. It's good. It's good for our body. All right, let's before I do another copy pasta here, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah. Oh, it is. It is absolutely glorious. Gonna look now to finish the Superman movie. Fair enough. I'll see you when it's done. Let me know which one it is and what you think of it at the end. Let's see. Okay, so the way that Lancer sets up its stuff. Ooh, thank you very much for the coin toss. Sets up its defining natural features is like this is the defining natural feature of the entire planet. So they have things like 100-year storms, active tectonics, inert core, monobiome, world scar, under twin suns, ringed remote planets, cosmopolitan, that sort of a thing, right? Ooh, nice, a radio version. Nice. So we're gonna go with like okay, let's start this off. Let's go with nightly rainstorms. Oh, hey, you know what I just realized is that I have like those past two tables. The text was actually too large. There we go. See, I can get rid of that. And we're going to insert a page break here. Up, okay. There we go. That's feeling a little bit better. Insert another page break. So let's just go through and kind of decide what all I'd like to have as defining natural features first. So nightly rainstorms, that's a solid one. Let's see, rolling hills is another good one. Steep mountain. A river might be good. I'm gonna keep it for now. We'll see if it lasts, you know? I do think having a fault line might create some interesting moments gameplay-wise. Ooh. Okay, so you know how if you get close enough to like the Arctic Circle, the sun never quite sets in certain seasons? Wouldn't it be cool if you had like that sort of thing going on? So what would I'm gonna go with Eternal Sunset for that. That just seems cool. Like, it's very vaporwave, it's very 80s, you know, like, oh yeah, no, we just have a constant sunset, baby. The skyline's pink and orange. It's great. Okay, let's see. Oh, we could also go... let's say harsh seasons. So, like, it's either fucking summer or it's winter. There's no in between kind of a thing. Strong winds. Yeah, 0% humidity. Seaside, which is very different from river stuff, so I feel like that's a pretty good collection. So do we want to alphabetize this? I feel like I should alphabetize this. I'll put the number at the bottom. Ugh. Jumplight Odyssey deserved so much better than it got. Like, it's such a cool game, it was going in such cool directions, and then the company making it ran out of money. I felt so bad for them when it happened. Because it was very clear that they wanted to go on making stuff, and they released a bunch of, like, behind-the-scenes stuff as, like, free DLC when they had to end development. I shouldn't say end development, they put it on indefinite hiatus, which I know is very similar, honestly, but, you know, hey, we can all hope. Yeah, this particular song on the soundtrack makes me think of classic Captain Harlock or Galaxy Express 999, Maytel, even Starship Troopers. Not Starship Troopers. Oh my goodness, that's wildly different from the one I'm thinking of. Star Blazers. That's the one. Which is the American title for Space Battleship Yamato. Let's move that. think that's deep mountains. Rainstorms. River. Rolling hills, seaside, steep mountains, strong winds, 0% humidity. So an eternal sunset. Quirk of where... Located... Sun never quite dips beyond, fully beyond the horizon. Night is replaced by beautiful eternal sunset paints the world pinks and oranges. Giving life to nostalgic vaporwave dreams. Yeah. Okay. And then, oh, I need to... Where is... I know there's a way to set text the center of a cell. There we go. Middle. There we are. Fault line. How do I want to describe this? So this is essentially the city is built on a fault line that may occasionally cause earthquakes.
Presented by Zaya.
Oh my goodness, it didn't even catch the movement that I just did there. It was too fast. Hello, Blastian, welcome. I really need to set up the brief, like Sentai Sheela, flash for that. Just because Captain Comic Geek made a whole Sentai Sheela team for me a while back based on the Jacques Hughes suits, and they're all absolutely adorable. Yeah, but today we're working on more ProtoDrive, and I am just, in general available for talking about, anything, but I like talking about TTRPG stuff during this especially, but, hey, whatever. And, oh, hey, wait a minute, why isn't the art for this showing up right now? Aw, beans! Stuck at work watching to pass the time. Fair enough, fair enough. The bottom right-hand corner of the display is supposed to show the art for the game soundtrack that is playing right now, but I don't know, I guess, like, I'm still trying to figure out why it's dumping some of the art for these. This is from Zokubokuro no Taiyo, or Bakutai 2. You know, so I've said it out loud, even if it's just a music note on the screen. So let's see. Area is occasionally racked by earthquakes that range from barely noticeable to you know what? We're just gonna go with earth shattering. Let's see. Architecture and infrastructure. It's had to adapt as a result. And then I'm just gonna leave it there. Like, I know how I would adapt architecture and infrastructure for earthquakes. I've seen it done in very successful ways, but hey, maybe that's done in different ways depending on what world kind of world you're in. Like, if you're in a modern world, then it's going to be modern solutions. If you're in a sci-fi world, ditto, you know? Harsh seasons. Weather here, always extremes. There seems to be no transition between summer and winter. Well, in Pathfinder, we just found out that the lovely tool that is the deck of cantrip cards. Cards that contain a single casting of a cantrip, but even with those with no magic can use. The limit is that they have cast at a fixed rate. Hey, fair enough. That is a really useful tool. I know that there are similar things in Vania, thanks to the art of Arcana Smithy. But essentially, like, what Arcana Smiths can do is they can create devices that are then imbued with specific spells. But it's not just cantrips. Like, you can do, like, more powerful stuff. It just takes more power. And even if you're not a caster, you can still use them because, like, they are themselves powered off of mana cores, which are essentially they're crystal batteries that are aligned with a specific element. Probably the most common of these is like essentially flashlights. You know, it's a light mana core that has a parabolic reflector behind it, and just, yeah, you flip the switch and it essentially casts light, and now you have light. We're using them so our one magic user does not have to constantly use... that's fair, that's fair. But yeah, like, one of probably my favorite are the heaters and coolers that we've had built into the Come and Go. Because, like, that's how we keep the climate controlled without having to rely on, like, burning fuel or anything. So no matter what time of year it is, we can essentially just use mana cores to keep the perfect temperature in here. Although we do have a music system that also operates in a similar way. That's pretty cool. And I think I've mentioned before how, like, essentially all of our, like, showers and sinks and toilets and all that sort of stuff essentially have, like, built-in ways to obliterate waste and generate water. So we didn't end up actually having to create, like, proper plumbing way out here in the boonies to get the same effect.
Oh, what counts as hurt enough to go see Aunt Elena?
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Well, LaFerlin and I were playing in the forest, and I sort of rolled down a hill wrong.
Oh, let me see what's going on. Oh, it's just a skin knee. I can fix that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and help tutorial with that. And yeah, we've got a commercial coming up soon anyway, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll run a commercial while we're away. I will see you all soon. Alrighty. No, that's not I mean, like, I'm sure it stings. I'm sure it hurts real bad, but no, I can fix that. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Let's see. Okay, harsh seasons. Weather here is always extreme. No, let's not say the weather. The temperatures here are always extreme. Swinging from one end of the thermometer to the other. There seems to be no transition between summer and winter. And it's not uncommon to start the day bundled up. No, okay. No, we're gonna exceed 3 lines if we do that. There seems to be no transition between summer and winter. Ba, 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 ba. There needs to be another clause to this sentence. Climate control is non-negotiable. In cars and housing. There we go. Let's do in both cars and housing. Alright, nightly rainstorms. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Do 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 do. Sorry, this is one of my favorite songs from Golden Sun when I was young. Can't remember if it was this one or another one that had a dance that went along with it, but it was fun. Okay, so nightly rainstorms. How do we want to describe that? Setting of the sun comes cooler temperatures. Leading to heavy clouds hang overhead. And to release. There. Watery payload? I don't know. This is sounding sexual the more I write it. On the landscape below. Setting of the sun comes cooler temperatures, leading the heavy clouds that always hang overhead. Release their watery payload on the landscape below. Thunder and lightning. Seasonal additions. The rain happens like clockwork every day. There we go. Okay, so we did blow 3 lines there. Let's see what we can take out of there to... As the sun sets, cooler temperature sets. Cooler temperatures. The cooling temperatures cause the heavy clouds that always hang overhead to release their watery payload upon the landscape below. Thunder and lightning are seasonal. Maybe seasonal. The rain happens like clockwork every day. Alright, so we got a little bit more to make more efficient. Sun sets, the cooling temperatures cause the heavy clouds that always cause the heavy clouds hanging overhead to release their watery payload upon the landscape below. Sometimes it's gentle. Others torrential. Thunder and lightning. Come and go. With the seasons. But the rain happens like clockwork every day. Okay, so in trying to remove some of it, I wrote more. Hooray! Yay, welcome to writing. As the sun sets, the cooling temperatures cause the heavy clouds hanging overhead to release their watery payload. Sometimes it's gentle, and others torrential. Thunder and lightning. And some seasons. The rain happens like clockwork every day of the year. Okay, so we're going to try and keep the rest of these to 3 lines. If this is the only one that's 4 lines, I think we'll be fine. But if we have to, we'll come back to this one later. A river. Running through... civilization. Coming through the town is a ragged remnant of nature that once ruled this place. Though it rages in the rainy season, this river normally named Beast flows openly in some places, but beneath covered bridges and others. Streets and others. Nope. Okay. So I'm trying. Those openly crossed only by the bridges that link two banks into one city. Crossed here and there. Cutting through the town is a jagged is a no, I don't like jagged. It's a rushing remnant of the nature that once ruled this place. Though it rages in the stormy season, this river is normally a tamed beast that crossed here and there by bridges linking the two banks into one city. Rolling hills. Okay, we are making good time today. Oh, how to describe rolling hills? Ooh, back to the Broke soundtrack. Specifically, this is the Wii and PS2 version of the Broke soundtrack, I want to say. Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost certain this is the Wii and PS2 version. See, now I gotta check it, you know? I'm actually not sure now. See, that one was 2007, which sounds correct. Yeah, that's the Wii and PS2 version. Because the original was 1998. Alright, so Rolling Hills. These remnants. Glacial melt and movement. Make for great opportunities. Cruise the roads that now rise, fall, rise and fall with the landscape. Easy to forget. Life is like at the bottom. When you live at the top. So, just a little seed of something to kind of inspire in there. Like, there's not much I can say about Rolling Hills. Like, there's kind of an implication here of like, oh, okay, if you're building racetracks in this area, you should include, you know, some slight elevation changes, but nothing too specific. Seaside. Beaches and sunshine are what people think of when it comes to seaside settlements. This beauty comes in exchange for, or comes at the price of the occasional devastating storm, be it a hurricane or a typhoon. Not unheard of. Evacuation is always possible necessity. Steep mountains, okay. Most harrowing experiences for both hikers and drivers. Pathways cut around them are narrow. Well, hello, Glorious Sunshine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? Let's see if the bot tells me what you were playing. Oh, you were playing Final Fantasy XIV Online. Fantastic. What were you up to in Final Fantasy XIV today? Today I am working on ProtoDrive a little bit more. It's TTRPG Tuesday, so there you are. Getting filtered by Arkfeld and doing a pretty emotional Hildebrand quest. Ooh, I always love the Hildebrand quests. As comedic and funny as they are, there's often like one or two moments of like, oh, you're like this is fairly heavy hitting. But it always comes back to comedy eventually. But like I said, working on ProtoDrive today, trying to finish up the iterative world building section. We'll see if I actually manage it. Pretty heavy stuff today. Oh, okay. Is Blasty right? Were you working on the GG sections? Young Mountain Range is often the most harrowing experiences both hikers and drivers. The pathways that people cut around them. No, it was Dawn Trail. Okay, I haven't gotten to the Dawn Trail ones yet. Oh, thank you very much for the actual size redeem. I haven't gotten to the Dawn Trail ones yet, so... and, like, weirdly, I don't care about spoilers most of the time, but, like, I'm heavily invested in Hildebrand stuff, so... Noted that Dawn Trail Hildebrand stuff is going to get kind of heavy. Dawn Trail is a trip. Oh, yes. I am, like, MSQ-wise, I want to say I'm on the 4th trial for Wat Clement right now. Because, yeah, let's see. We helped the Moblins. We've helped the Pelu Pelu. We got jumped by Bakul Jaja. Who else did we help? The Vanu Vanu? Yeah, we helped the Vanu Vanu, and now we've done the first part of the Yakhui thing. So we went through the dungeon and are now about to try and deal with the Tural Vitral, whose actual name I can't remember the whole thing of, but it starts with a V. Some classic Final Fantasy references. Ooh, dupe noted. I love it when they work classic references in. Okay, so Young Mountain Ranges often offer the most harrowing experiences for both hikers and drivers alike. Add that in there. Pathways that people cut around them are narrow. And the natural... are narrow, but the natural paths through valleys have rock hazards. Rock hazards. Meaning nowhere is safe. Nowhere is truly safe. Okay. I don't like that we got one word over... Yeah, the Dawn Trail stuff is pretty loaded with content, which is so funny because, like, I have been having an absolutely wonderful time with Dawn Trail, and yet, like, the common, refrain online is that, oh, well, Dawn Trail wasn't as good as other things. It's like, okay, guys, one, we're just starting a new story. Two, what are you talking about? This is great! I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that I don't feel like I always need to be the hero. I'd honestly prefer not to be the main hero most of the time in my personal life. But that's a me thing, I guess. Hey, and now we're back on that great 70s styling from Jump Light Odyssey. Young Mountain Ranges often offer the most harrowing experiences for both drivers, or for both, yeah, hikers and drivers alike. Okay, I need to rearrange that for alphabetization, because that's how English works. Paths people cut around them. Let's go with the paths cut by people. are dangerously narrow. We'll go with most paths cut by people. Basically, Dawn Trail Hildebrand gets so emotional your voice broke during the over-narration. You put up the BRB screen to stop from crying on screen. Oh my goodness! Oh, I cried on stream at the end of Endwalker, so that's gonna... I'm gonna be destroyed. I'm gonna get destroyed. That's what's gonna happen. Well, Valley Roads. Almost always have falling. Dang it! You know, so pick your poison. There we go. Good writing, but yeah, absolutely ruined. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. I love stories like that, though. Honestly, like, it's nice to be able to feel those emotions in a safe place, and kind of, it helps you prepare for when big emotions like that happen in real life, you know? So let's give this one last read through, but I think I've struck gold. Young mountain ranges often offer the most harrowing experiences for both drivers and hikers alike. Most paths cut by people are dangerously narrow, while valley roads almost always have falling rock hazards, so pick your poison. Nice. Okay. Nice, succinct, 3 lines. Perfect. Oh, no, this is the one from Golden Sun that has the dance that goes along with it. I want to say this is a different village in the same area. But yeah, like there's a whole like ceremony that goes into this with the NPCs. It's very fun. Strong winds. Oh, my, hang on a second. Okay, and we're back. Sorry, somehow, my, like, pad that I stand on when I'm doing work while standing, like, was scooted, like, a foot to the right. In other news, Guardian Arkvald is going to packet filter people on extreme. Hey, fair enough. I don't think I've actually done any of the extremes yet. Because, like, my guild is very low-key and very small. So, and, like, I know for a fact that extremes require, like, a lot of communication and all that sort of stuff. 200% better than Rathlow's. Ooh. Duly noted. Like, I enjoyed Rathlow's a lot, but it certainly didn't have enough explanation. Like, every time I randomize into that, you have at least one person who's doing that automated, like, hey, I'm posting this to let you all know that this is how healing works in this. Because of how the world near your town is shaped. Cutting winds are a constant issue. Because of the way, there we are, that's what I meant to say. Back to Sunless Sea, always good. Actually, fucking great for this, because, like, strong winds constantly is very much a seaside town thing. Because of the way the world near your town is shaped, cutting winds are a constant issue. more densely packed. Helped your area make the jump to renewable energy. On the plus side, we're gonna make the jump to renewable energy quickly. Oh, they added your VTuber's glasses. Hello world, I am dead. What? Like as an in-game item, or like did you just like get new glasses in VTube Studios or something? Now recreate Gloria accurately in 14. Oh, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, obviously, like, I can't recreate myself very accurately in 14, but I did model my character after my littlest kid, Lynn, who is pretty much the only person who doesn't come in and bother me somehow, despite the fact that she's quite often the biggest troublemaker. Not in a negative way. She's not, like, starved for attention or anything. She just... Well, again, like, they were all 5 born at the same time, and we're pretty sure she didn't get quite enough oxygen, if you catch my drift. She doesn't quite have a grasp on consequences for her actions, and so she gets into trouble as a result of it. Like, she's not... It's always weird to talk about. Like, she's not held back or anything. It's just she does not understand that bad things can happen. But that kind of made the most sense for an adventurer. And plus, she's adorable, so yeah. Gloria's glasses are kind of like classic spectacles, but they're sort of angled, which makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. Sort of like horn rims, but trendier. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. On the plus side, it helped Yuri make the jump to renewable energy quickly, but downside is that it's easy to get knocked over if you get caught unawares. Okay, that's, a little bit too long. Also, I don't know how the Game Boy Advance speaker dealt with this particular song. It is pushing crispy around the edges. Cutting winds are a constant issue. I said, may... How do I shorten this? Because of the way the world near your town is shaped. Cutting winds are a constant issue. On the plus side, it helped make your area... helped make the jump to renewable energy. I'm just gonna go with easy. The downside is that now it's easy. Things get knocked over if not properly secured. But no, horn rim glasses are amazing. Someone recently posted in one of the servers that I'm in a kind of like Princess Daisy outfit for their Lalafell, and I absolutely want to steal it. Side is that things get knocked over easy. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not gonna don't think I'm going to go much harder than that because of the way the world near your town is shaped, cutting winds are a constant issue. On the plus side, it helped make the jump to renewable energy easy. But the downside is that things get knocked over if not properly secured. Yeah. Get back from your SHB outfit and wear red again. Hey, fair enough. Like, I haven't updated my Red Mage outfit in, like, 2 expansions because of how solid the kind of tricorn with the extra big fluff on top of it is. That's just a really solid outfit. 0% humidity. Most people would think rock bottom moisture would be a good thing. That's completely wrong. What kind of humidity normally normal to temperate zones. Everything dries out and dust is a major issue. And outside, shade is your best friend. Do 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 do. I should try to make another run through Crypt of the Necrodancer. It has such great disco vibes. I think I only ever made it to the 3rd world. Because we had the normal dungeon, you had the lava zone, and then there was an ice zone, I think. Oh, it's a fantastic game, and the spin-off where they did like a Legend of Zelda was also really, really cool. There's a new Crypt of the Necrodancer game coming soon that's more like just like a Guitar Hero style rhythm game. That one looks a lot of fun as well. Most people would think that rock bottom moisture would be a good thing. That's great until they experience it for themselves. Oh, hello?
The fire grows bug inside again.
Okay, did he let it loose or does he still have a hold of it?
It's in a jar, but Lynn's looking at it like it's candy.
Okay, alright, well, just keep her off of him, and I'll be with you in just a second. Let's see, we still got a couple minutes. They should be fine without me for just a second. Until they experience it for themselves. Hoses crack. Dust constantly clogs filters. The sun feels like it's baking you alive. All right, I'm not fully convinced on this, but I'm going to take a step away from it for a few minutes, go deal with that issue. Again, Lynn does not have a concept of consequences and will often just, like, eat anything her brothers try to feed her. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to run a commercial. I'll see you all soon, and then we'll figure out what's wrong with this description for 0% humidity. All right. All right, no, you keep that lid on that jar, mister. No, we're taking that back outside. Okay, so let's do another read through and figure this out. Most people think that rock bottom moisture, such low moisture sounds great until they experience it for themselves. Hoses crack, dust constantly clogs filters, and the sun feels like it's baking everything. The unfiltered sun causes even asphalt to sizzle. There's no U in asphalt. Shade is your best friend. Everyone owns a humidifier. Here we go. Oh, I forgot there was an 8-bit version of the album. The Dragon Quest XI soundtrack has like 4 different versions, each on its own disc. So there's the orchestral one, there's the 8-bit one. Oh goodness gracious, what are the other 2? Let's see. So there's the symphonic, the synthesized version, the 8-bit version, and like just some extra stuff on the 4th album, or the 4th CD, I guess. Don't remember what the theme there was, I just guess just like extra stuff. Okay, so most people think that such low moisture sounds great until they experience it for themselves. Hoses crack. Well, hello, Toxin! What timing? Enjoy your lurk, but yeah, we've got Dragon Quest XI just happened to rotate onto the background music. Hoses crack, dust clog, constantly clogs filters, and the unfiltered sun causes even the asphalt to sizzle. That's the good stuff. Exactly. Just nice, crunchy little 8-bit. Not constrained by the size of 8-bit files. Like, don't get me wrong, you can find a lot of creativity in things that are also, like, limit themselves to the size of that sound files were allowed to be in, like, the NES days. But if you just use 8-bit tools to create a sound file of any size, you can create some really interesting things. You have finished the movie. Okay, report, Weather. How was the movie? How was the most recent Superman? Was he a small bean, or was he a hateful hero as defined by the United States in modern times? Ooh, jumping from 8-bit to Paradise Killers. Absolute vaporwave beauty. Amazing. You know what? Honestly, I think I'm just going to get rid of that last sentence. Dragon Quest XI is also the only official way to hear any Dragon Quest X music in an English game, so there's that. Hey, fair enough. Clearly made to be an enjoyment for the fans, which you appreciate. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, and I missed another one. Honestly, legit peak. There you go. Okay, cool. So how does this sound as a full description for 0% humidity? Most people think that such low temperatures or such low moisture sounds great until they experience it for themselves. Hoses crack, dust constantly clogs filters, and the unfiltered sun causes even the asphalt to sizzle. I think that's fine. I think we don't need to fill all 3 lines. Rather than trying to be another introduction to Superman's origins, that would definitely be changed to make it more nuanced. Superman has great personality. Yeah, I am honestly super tired of origins films, like especially with the more well-known heroes. Like, we all know how Superman came to be. We all know how Spider-Man came to be. We all know how Batman came to be. I don't need to see the origin story. Like, that's... Now, I say that, and then I also... Well, I don't know. Was the most recent Batman film an origin story? I deeply enjoyed that. I deeply, deeply enjoyed the most recent Batman movie. Not my favorite version of Riddler, but like everything else about the movie, on point. Just absolute peak gothic Batman bullshit. I love it. Okay, I think that feels good for this table. Okay, so let's do a copy paste of the table. Bop. Change this to be civic features. Then clear out all of the data there. Get rid of this one. Excuse you, delete table. Thank you. How you wish for a Warcraft movie was just made just by fans. You ought to watch that Batman movie. I want to see some grounded Batman stuff. It's pretty grounded. Honestly, like, it's... My favorite Batman remains the Batman the Animated Series Batman, and thus by extension Batman Beyond, weirdly. Because, yeah, Batman Beyond was a direct sequel to Batman the Animated Series. The two series are closely tied to one another. I prefer the aesthetics of Batman the Animated Series, but not because I dislike the ones in Batman Beyond, but because I enjoyed the texture of particularly the first two seasons of Batman the Animated Series, where they were physically making some of the stuff using like very textured construction paper and things like that. Like there's just a film grittiness to those first two seasons that I feel like a lot of other Batman media doesn't quite capture, that feels appropriate for the characters. Batman Beyond is amazing. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. And like, again, plot-wise and even aesthetically, I will admit, that feels like the logical evolution of Batman the Animated Series. It is great stuff. But yeah, yeah, it fucks and cream pies, exactly. Like there's just, and there's also just the fact that like that is the version of Batman that most clearly gives a shit about the world around him. Like the biggest problem with most Batman media is the same as a lot of Iron Man media of, oh yeah, this is just another rich asshole flexing his wealth to like essentially show off. But with Batman the Animated Series, he uses the Batman personality as the thing to solve the problem that's happening right this second, but then uses his Bruce Wayne side and all of the wealth that comes with it to solve the greater overarching problems by feeding money back into the communities, building better affordable housing, or purchasing the affordable housing that already exists and helping protect the citizens who use it. Funding food drives, making sure to employ people who are down on their luck at Wayne Tech and Wayne Enterprises, and making sure that like, oh, this person is just a villain because they got completely screwed over by the world. I'm gonna make sure that the cops either don't find out about their identity and give them the chance to rehab themselves, or if it's unavoidable that the cops are gonna pick them up, get them in a situation where they can be rehabbed in jail and find a better life and get out sooner than they normally would have. Like, again, that is, it's that like perfect representation of both sides of the coin with Bruce. You know, solving both the right now problem and the long-term problem. And that is chef's kiss. That is beautiful. That is exactly the kind of like, oh, if you're going to have a rich person as your hero, it has to be like that. That is how you make them a real hero, you know? You're still going to be keep rejecting Terry being biologically Bruce's son, though, Lamau. I don't know how to feel about that one. Yeah, I'm not particularly on one side or the other with that one, actually. I could see arguments for both. Oh goodness gracious, what's the probably my favorite thing in Batman Beyond was the section dealing with Victor Freeze, and like the fact that, you know, he kind of came to accept that, yeah, there's no way that he's ever going to be able to, like, it was such a tragic addition to his character arc. Would Dick Grayson have been a better character if he was genetically connected to Bruce? Not necessarily. But I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know. There's enough. Yeah, Damien is there for it. Exactly. You know, I wonder if, because Damien wasn't a thing really, or at least his relationship as Bruce's son wasn't a thing when Batman Beyond came out. So I wonder if, had that relationship been there and solid, if Terry would have been Damien's son instead. Like, because I could absolutely see a situation where Damien and Bruce had a falling out when Damien grew up, and Damien's like trauma response was, I need to get out of the heroing business, I need to cut ties with Bruce, I need to do this, that, and the other thing. Terry and Bruce thing, we got to convince the fans that Terry is valid Batman by being genetically the same as Batman. Like, that's the thing. I'm not trying to like say that he is, like, Terry is a completely valid Batman whether he's related to Bruce or not. Like, that's the whole thing there. Like, Terry needed a father figure and Bruce needed someone to pass the lineage onto, but they both became better people as a result of the complications of their relationship. But I think there would be an interesting story there as, like, well, like I was saying before, like, Damien broke things off with Bruce and said, hey, I can't be here anymore. Like, this is making me a bad person, kind of a thing. I'm going dark places. I need to be a normal person. And, like, completely rewriting his identity. And there's an interesting story to tell there about, like, how fate can sometimes bring us back together with people who were meant to be nearby. Or even that, like, you know, it really and truly wasn't genetics that made them the Bat. It was their circumstances. And though they may be directly related in that case, they don't have any exposure to each other. So they grew up as, like, Terry grew up as a completely different person from Batman. And so, like, I don't know. I think that would be a more interesting story to tell than Terry somehow being Bruce's son. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. Like, maybe it's an AU, maybe it's an alternate universe, but like it's like I said, I think that would have at least been a better choice than making Terry Bruce's son, because there's an age there. Yeah. But at the same time, again, I'm not particularly strong one way or the other there. Okay. Let's see. Like, problem is that we literally put, that it was literally a plan trying to make a second Batman. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. Like, that doesn't feel good. That seems to go against again, like, some of the stuff, that was important for the first couple of seasons, where Terry and Bruce are constantly at odds with each other, having grown up in wildly different socioeconomic standpoints, and all that sort of fun stuff. Like, Terry's priorities, while ultimately the same as Batman, to save the world and save people and make the world a better place, come from different places in their personalities. Like, they both have the death of their parents as a driving force, but it's, again, because of their socioeconomic differences, it's different, and that those differences are what's important to the growth of both characters across the series. Page break. Yeah, that's why you hate it, because it feels like such a forced connection when they do not need to, because they already had some strong bond. Exactly. So, we're not disagreeing. I was just spitballing before. Awesome. Good to know. Defining civic feature. Okay, we gotta do another description for a defining civic feature here. Every place occupied No. People are builders. It's a key part of our societies. And as a result, every city, town, and village has something they're particularly proud of. Something they've built that puts their place on the map. The biggest cities may have more than one of these. Even the smallest hamlet has one. Okay, cool. So, we need to get rid of a couple words somewhere. People are builders. It's part of who we are. Who we are. Dang, okay. As a result, every city, town, and village has something they're particularly proud of. Something they built that puts their place on the map. Puts them on the map. How about that? The biggest cities have more than one of these, but even the smallest hamlet has one. Has at least one. Okay. Well, that flows better, but now has jumped us over into the fourth line again. People are builders. It's part of who we are. I don't think I need to include as a result here. Every city, town, and village has something they're particularly proud of. Something they've built that puts them on the map. Biggest cities may have more than one of these, but even the smallest has at least one. Smallest hamlet has at least one. Okay, yeah. That feels good. Alright, so defining civic features. Alright, let's just go through. Oh, actually, hold up. Let's move that into the single column section. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm actually going to get rid of that. We'll decide if we need more words there when we get to the non-player characters section. Okay. So, let's go mega farms. I'm thinking just like, okay, if you've ever driven through like rural Illinois or like Idaho or anywhere that has like just farms as far as the eye can see, just fields of corn or tomatoes or just endless fields. That's what I'm thinking of when I think of mega farms. Because that's, believe it or not, that is a civic feature. Let's. I don't want to say a civic center. We'll say an arts district. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh. How to describe the Sears Tower? Like, it's a specific type of architecture that involves essentially, like, building, like, stacking skyscrapers. It's a really interesting thing to do, because, like, basically you build one, like, wide kind of squat building that acts as the foundation for smaller and smaller skyscrapers that get stacked on top of one another. And I know it's not called the Sears Tower anymore. Oh, goodness gracious, what's it called? The Willis Tower now, formerly known as the Sears Tower, still commonly referred to as such. Let's see if I can grab a picture of this thing really quick. This bad boy. Like, so you can kind of see how... Oh, actually, wait a minute. I have Le Pointer! Like, so you can see how, like, this section right here, there's kind of a break, and the same around the back. This was, like, the first section they built, and then made, like, essentially a smaller section of levels up to about there, and then have a smaller tower there, a central tower there, and a skinny little guy right there. Oh, what the... there we go. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking of when I think of, like, this particular thing. Yeah, points at the booba. I mean, listen. Boop. It's right there. It's right there. Right there and right there. But yeah, no, I need to figure out what that type of architecture is called. Opened in 1973 is the world's tallest building. It is currently the third tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, as well as the 23rd in the world. More than 1.7 million people visit the sky deck. Yada yada yada. Oh, thank you very much for the hydration. Good water. Just got too excited? Yeah, I get you. Always happy to provide exciting content. Ah, I thought I minimized that window. Oh. Also just realized I don't think I posted that I was live over on Blue Sky. Nope, I sure didn't. Where's that link at? Oh, whoops. Okay, so let's... Okay, there's construction. So let's talk about the architecture. It's designed... The building has 9 square tubes clustered in a 3x3 matrix forming a square base. Oh, I was wrong on how this was designed. Okay, hang on. I'm going to bring this Wikipedia article back over because this is now getting interesting for me. Okay, so form and facade. So look at this. Check this out. So, like I was saying, it's like the article says, it's like a 3x3 grid, and like each set of tubes kind of goes to different heights. That's cool as hell. So what I was thinking was like, okay, here is our foundation layer is actually just the shortest of the tubes that provide buttressing essentially for the taller tubes around them. That's cool. And see, this is why I ended up being an anthropologist for a few years, because I enjoy learning this kind of nonsense. Okay, so there's not a specific type of architecture for that. So how do we describe like a uniquely designed skyscraper? We'll call it a cutting edge skyscraper. For now. I may change that a little bit later. We'll see. We'll see. Building mats. Yeah, you know what? Exactly. Where did my chat window go? Okay. So, other defining civic feature. Oh, civic features. Historical town hall. Major. I don't want to say just another major historical site, because what I'm thinking of is like the site of an ancient battle, or like, oh, it's the Roman Acropolis, that sort of thing. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say instead, well-known town hall. Major historical site. There we go. International Business Center. Busy airport? And again, I'm not fully convinced on some of these labels, but we can come back to them. Like, I'm getting the ideas out there. Let's see. Go with the major seaport as well. Those are two different distinct things. I'm gonna go with AAA corporate headquarters. And I am gonna leave it like that instead of saying like a Fortune 500, specifically because like that is a nice sort of cyberpunk reference that anybody who knows it will get it, you know what I mean? And the description will help everybody else get filled in. Alright. Top-notch university. There we go. So we've got mega farms, we've got an art district, we've got a cutting-edge skyscraper. I feel like cutting edge should cutting edge have a hyphen? I'm gonna hyphenate it just in case. Well-known town hall. Major historical site, international business center, busy airport, major seaport. Let's go with ancient historical site. That gives a little bit more flavor to it, you know? Busy seaport, busy airport, major seaport, AAA corporate headquarters, and top-notch university. Okay. So now we get to alphabetize these things. Okay, get in there. Put that down there. I'm always torn whenever the Myst soundtrack comes on, because while the game is good, weirdly the books were better in my opinion. If only because the narrative was less obscure. Which I do fully understand is part of the Myst games. Don't get me wrong, I love me some digging and scraping for any scrap of narrative clarity. But especially the first one was perhaps at times a little too obscure with what it wanted to do. Cut that one there. Then again, most people don't even realize that there were books set in the universe of Myst. Okay, so let's do a scan of this. Da, 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 da. Yep, okay, cool. All of those are now in alphabetical order. Excellent. AAA Corporate Headquarters. Campus that screams, "We are the future." It's home base for a major international corporation. Shapes everything around it, people included. All right, I'll be grammatically correct about it. For better or worse, every part of the city is touched by business and needs of this company. Or by this business and its needs. There we go. Ancient historical site. Uncovered sometime in last century. This historical site has led to a boom in tourism. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of the International Business Center because now that we have AAA headquarters there, I feel like that's not necessary. I want to add a theme park. What? That's not what I wanted you to do. There we are. Oh, excuse me. Theme park. So I'm thinking like Disney and Universal, the really big ones. This historical site has led to a boom in tourism and a cultural revival, and an aesthetic cultural revival of the ancient past. most of it is for said tourists. No. Not in the last century, because that implies the last 100 years. If I say sometime last century, that's like saying, oh, okay, it is currently the 21st century. This was uncovered in the 20th century. That might be more than 100 years ago, you know? Phrasing is important. It's heartfelt as well. Giving the area a few... Oh, hello? Is that... No? No knock? Okay. I thought someone was knocking. Reputation for being old-fashioned. Okay, uncovered sometime last century, this historical site has led to a boom in tourism and an aesthetic cultural revival. Or a cultural revival of the aesthetics. And the revival... No, that... An aesthetic cultural revival of the ancient past. Most of it is for said tourists, but some is heartfelt. It gives the area a reputation for being old-fashioned. Anyway. Blatantly for the... So, uncovered sometime last century, this historical site has led to a boom in tourism and an aesthetic cultural revival of the ancient past. Most of it is blatantly for said tourists, but it gives the area a reputation for being old-fashioned anyway. Cool. Arts District. This renowned area of the city. Town. Features art. Oh,
Mom,
there we go.
Have you seen Mr. Grumbles?
No, sweetie. Where'd you lose track of her?
Can you help me find her?
Okay, give me just a moment. I'm gonna finish up this sentence and I'll be right with you. Oh, she was sleeping in the library last time. Go check in there. The windows are letting sunshine in real strong right now. This renowned area of the city or town features art in all its shapes and forms. Murals, dancing, music, theater, and more. And be found here alongside great food, and lively company. Of course, there are seedier things to be found too. You know where to look. Because trust me, seedier things always come along with art districts. And it's not the unfortunate folks who are causing it. It is only to meet certain demands of the rich and famous. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I will be back in a few minutes. Gonna go help find a skunk. Gonna run a commercial while we're away, and I'll see you all soon. Alrighty. Let's do the busy airport next. Hub of international travel. Or do I want to call it an international airport? Since we got rid of international business, I think doing that makes a little more sense. Ugh. Hub of international travel. This airport has grown with each decade. And is thus a layered time capsule of travel style across the years. Everything is kept from the plush carpets and rounded surfaces and its shapes of the mid-century, the ultra-modern, ultra-modern dark corners and walls of glass in the newest terminals. The mid-century, not arrivals lounge. The ticketing area. The ultra-modern sharp corners and walls of glass in the newest terminals. A sight to behold. All travelers. Alright, that's way too long, but I've also just realized that Arts District is, of course, too long as well. Because I said we were going to come back and talk about that, and then I didn't. So here we are. This renowned area of the city or town, city... We're just going to say city. Features art in all shapes and sizes. Murals, dancing. We gotta do that alphabetization thing. Dancing. Murals. Music. Theater and more. We found alongside great food and lively company. There are seedier things to be found as well, if you know where to look. Alright, good. So this renowned area of the city features art in all shapes and sizes. Dancing, murals, music, theater, and more can be found alongside great food and lively company. There are seedier things to be found, but there are seedier things as well, if you know where to look. Of course, comma, there are seedier things as well, if you know where to look. And hey, we have one of our new additions to the working soundtrack, the Lamplighters League OST. You know, we recently finished that game, and I realized that I had the soundtrack thanks to pre-purchasing it. So I figured, hey, I'll go ahead and toss that in here because it's a great jazz soundtrack. Alright, so let's take another look at the International Airport. Hub of international travel. Ooh, a hub of travel known worldwide. Known around the world. This airport has grown with each decade to become a layered time capsule of travel styles across decades. Each year to become a layered each year and become a layered time capsule. Ooh, no, transforming it into a layered time capsule of travel styles across the decades. From the plush carpets and rounded shapes of the mid-century ticketing area to the ultra-modern sharp corners and walls of glass in the newest terminals. It's a sight to behold for all travelers. Alright, I think this is the one I'm going to allow to be a little bit longer because I don't really feel like any of this can be shortened in a way that doesn't take away from the whole. You know what I mean? So let's go back a touch and look at Cutting Edge Skyscraper. Once nothing more, the wild ideas of a genius architect This skyscraper was only built thanks to the trust of a wealthy benefactor. Now bears their name alongside other smaller projects, smaller municipal projects contributed to. So once nothing more than the wild ideas of a genius architect, this skyscraper was only built thanks to the trust and financing of a wealthy benefactor. It now bears that benefactor's name. Hang on, I have a mouse. Why don't I just use that? Oh no, hang on. It now bears that benefactor's name, forever tying the city's identity to their philosophy. Yeah, and then that is just generic enough that it allows the GM to make decisions about, like, was this person actually like a good person, or has this kind of poisoned the reputation of the city in some way, shape, or form? So, once nothing more than the wild ideas of a genius architect, This skyscraper was only built thanks to the trust and financing of a wealthy benefactor. It now bears that benefactor's name, forever tying the city's identity to their personal philosophy. Ooh, perfect. Exact fit. Love it. Major seaport. Modern society cannot exist without trade. And trade is at the heart of this city thanks to its seaport. Aside from the occasional cruise ship, piers here only serve the largest shipping vessels. Creating a smaller city made of millions of containers. That are locked in an endless dance of arrival and departure. Modern society cannot exist without trade, and trade is at the heart of this city thanks... I think I can eliminate that first clause. Trade is at the heart of this city thanks to its seaport. Its massive seaport. Aside from the occasional cruise ship, the piers here only serve the largest shipping vessels, creating a smaller city. Oh wow, that is an aggressive combat theme button, Kaitos. Aside from the occasional cruise ship, the piers here only serve the largest shipping vessels, creating a smaller city made up of millions of containers that are locked in an endless dance of arrival and departure. And are surrounded by millions of containers locked in an endless dance of arrival and departure. Okay, we're almost there. We've almost got this down to 3 lines. Aside from the occasional cruise ship, its piers only serve the largest shipping vessels and are surrounded by millions of containers locked in an endless dance of arrival and departure. And are surrounded by millions of containers in an endless dance of arrival and departure. Okay. Trade is at the heart of this city thanks to its massive seaport. Aside from the occasional cruise ship, its piers only serve the largest shipping vessels and are surrounded by millions of containers in an endless dance of arrival and departure. Nice. Okay. I feel like that's a lot of good world building right there. Mega farms. Ooh. Even the most rural community has become well known. And it's made up farms or when it's agriculture is so massive that it changes the very landscape itself. Fields so enormous they seem to swallow the horizon. People here are proud to be the source of so much food for the world around them. Even the most rural community can become well known when its agriculture is so massive that it changes the very landscape itself. The field's so enormous that they seem to swallow the that they do swallow the horizon. People here are proud to be the source of food. For the wider world around them. Proud to contribute so much to the world's food supply. There we go. That feels a little bit better. It's not going to be short enough, but let's see how we can squeeze this down a little bit. Even the most rural community can become well known when its agriculture is so massive. Agriculture changes the very landscape itself. Fields so enormous that they swallow the horizon. People here are proud to contribute so much to the world's food supply. Okay. The easiest thing to change here would be fields so enormous that they swallow the horizon. But that's such an evocative phrase that I hesitate. Even the most rural community can become well known when its agriculture changes the very landscape. Fields so enormous, but massive, because I took massive out of an earlier section. That is technically a shorter word. Fields massive enough to swallow the horizon. People here are proud how much they contribute to the world's food supply. So I like that phrasing better, but it still doesn't actually solve the problem. Even the most rural community can become well known when its agriculture changes the very landscape itself. Even the most rural community can become well known when its agriculture changes the landscape itself. The field's massive enough to swallow the horizon. The people here are proud of how much they contribute to the world's food supply. There we go. Okay, so hydration time. So why am I being tagged over on Discord? Who needs what? That's a later problem. Oh, both of those are in that. Okay, interesting. Strange. Okay. Yeah, that's an after stream issue. The local amusement park are similar. Only rarely few places have the kind of truly enormous theme parks. No, I don't want to do a comparison. That feels bad. While cynics might consider it nothing more than advertising writ large. A theme park in this city provides the kind of entertainment that people from all around the globe to experience. Rides, not rises, rides. Oh, boo. Shows and shops. Something. Okay, I am gonna have to shorten this in some way, shape, or form. I'm essentially trying to describe Orlando here, quite frankly. Swirling lights paint the skies above. Rides, shows, and shops have this not riders. Theme park every day and night, rain or shine. Provides the kind of entertainment that people come from all around the globe to experience, and that the locals all too happy to provide in exchange for those Tourist. Dollars. I'm probably gonna cut dollars because I don't want it to like focus too much on the United States and that. Swirling lights paint the skies above the rides, shows, and shops of this theme park every day and night, rain or shine. Provides the kind of entertainment people come. People come from all around. Whoa! Jiggly. Wiggle the gobbo. Yep. People come from all around the globe to experience the experience. Constant flow, diversity, and adversity with them. Okay, swirling lights paint the skies above the rides, shows, and shops of this theme park every day and night, rain or shine. People come from all around the globe for the experience, creating a constant flow of diversity and adversity with them. Oh, ringing. Yeah, okay, cool. Nice, snappy little tastes of like, oh, hey, maybe there are problems here, that sort of a thing. While also creating like a vibe. So, a top-notch university. So the austere facade of the architecture might make casual viewer think place is stuffed up. I think this is one of the island themes from... Yep, Mystery Island Tour Evening Snowy. Ooh, yeah. That is a... You're the jiggliest. I mean, listen, I try. You know? The austere facade of the architecture might make the casual viewer think the place stuffed up. The place is stuffed up. The vibrant youth of its student population, all but. Just outside the main campus is a ring of bars, clubs, and I don't want to say hostels. And questionable student housing. I feel like we used that sort of description somewhere else before, though. Local environment, urban, old factories, tennis, games, bad. Okay, so... Okay, we did use that a little bit there, so we need to do something to make this distinct. So the austere facade of this architecture might make the casual viewer think the place is stepped up. The vibrant youth of its student population is all but. This is a place for forward thinking. Or political action, pushing the envelope of what's possible, and endless parties. Okay, hang on. I gotta double check whether political or political is correct here. Oh, okay. Have I done a while? No, I haven't. Not in this one, anyway. While the austere architecture might make the casual viewer think the place is stuffed up, the vibrant youth of its student population is all but. This is a place for political action, pushing the envelope of what's possible, and endless parties. Okay. And a well-known town hall. Built in a bygone age as an homage to even older architectural styles. This town hall, this expansive town hall, features offices that would be distributed across smaller city and farmed out to private companies. Ooh, and services might otherwise be farmed out to private companies. Built in a bygone age as an homage to even older architectural styles. This expansive town hall features offices that would be distributed across a smaller city and services that might otherwise be farmed out to private companies. I feel like there's more I could say about this if I wanted to make it into a specific thing. But I honestly think I'm going to leave it there. Let's see. Arial 11. Okay, it looks weird having this like full-sized statement next to other things here. Okay. So, okay, all of that feels good. Let's take a look at this last paragraph. When combined, these tables shape what kinds of courses most of the local tracks should be. Okay, aside from helping fill out the world, our table filling out the world, the details of the world. All the information provided by these tables help shape what kinds of courses most of the local tracks should be. Oh, these as tables. What kind of weather is common, and even local styles of architecture, clothing, and vehicles. Oh, take them at face value. Combinations that don't necessarily make sense lead to the most interesting stories with a little bit of creativity and thought about how these contradictions might come to be. So aside from helping fill out the details of the world, all the information provided by these tables can help shape what kinds of courses most of the local tracks should be, what kind of weather is common, and even the local styles of architecture, clothing, and vehicles. Remember that combinations that don't necessarily make sense can lead to the most interesting stories, with a little bit of creativity and thought about how these contradictions might come to be. Fair. Not perfect. Aside from helping fill out the details of the world. All the information provided by these tables fill out the world, shape not only oh, hello?
Hey, hun. Can I borrow you for a second?
You can borrow me anytime you like, stud.
Ha.
Yeah, I'll be with you as soon as I can, sweetie. Well, we've got another commercial break coming up, but here might actually be a good place to stop if I can lock this paragraph down well enough. All the information provided by these tables helps fill out the world and shape not only the styles of architecture, clothing, and vehicles the characters will encounter, but also what kinds of courses the local tracks should be. What kind of weather is common. The information provided by these tables helps fill out the world and shape the styles of architecture, clothing, shape not only things like what kind of weather is common, what kind of streets the local tracks are made up of, but also styles of architecture, you know what? I think we kind of ended up back where we started there a little bit. But also the styles of architecture, clothing, and vehicles the characters will encounter. Remember that combinations which don't necessarily make sense at first, can lead to the most interesting stories with a little bit of creativity. A little bit of thought about how these contradictions might come to be. Okay. All the information provided by these tables helps fill out the world and shape not only obvious things, like what kind of weather is common, what kind of streets, and what kind of streets the local tracks are made up of. But also like the local culture, clothing, even vehicles look like. The most interesting stories are ones that take place in a world that feels real. Feels alive. Hang on, I'm gonna hit that snooze button real quick. There we go. Yeah, trust me, I will be with you soon, sweetie. All the information provided by these tables helps fill out the world and shape not only the obvious things like what kind of weather is common and what kind of streets the local tracks are made up of, but also things like what the local culture, clothing, and even vehicles look like. The local culture is like, and what kinds and what styles are popular in clothing and even vehicles. Remember that the most interesting stories feel alive, are ones that take place in a world that feels alive, and that even the real world contains contradictions that make life interesting. Dang it! Oh, beans. We'll just cut that down to even the real world contains contradictions. So, all the information provided by these tables helps fill out the world and shape not only the obvious things like what kind of weather is common and what kind of streets the local tracks are made up of, but also things like what the local culture is like and what styles of clothing and vehicles are popular. Remember that the most interesting stories are ones that take place in a world that feels alive, and that even the real world contains contradictions. Okay, I'm happy with how that feels at this point. So, yeah, we would only have one more section of the stream today anyway. And up next is the section on non-player characters and how those are built. So I'm going to say, let's end it here and raid out to somebody else. Alrighty. And thus I have to head back over to the just chatting screen to find a place to send you all off to. So, thank you very much, Weary Travelers, for joining me today for this TTRPG Tuesday stream. I'll be back here on Friday, October 10th, to continue the main story quest of Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. For more information about future streams, keep an eye on our Blue Sky at Come and Go Tavern, where you can find announcements and daily check-ins from the Come and Go. I have been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis. Yeah, exactly. Here's the more stream. Thank you. Thank you very much for the final hydrate, Weather. I appreciate you. So, as I was saying, I have been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis. And if you need to prop your feet up for a little while longer, let's see where I can send you for a raid, shall we? Let's see. Oh, it looks like, funny enough, the short is playing Final Fantasy IV right now. So let's hang on and see if she's in a place. Yeah, she's in a great place to raid out to. Alright, I'll send you all over there. Have a great time. I would say be on your best behavior, but, you know, she's a bit of a saucy streamer herself, if I recall correctly. So, you know, just keep it cool and keep it positive, alright? Talk to y'all next time. Ta-ta for now. Bye. Bye. Oh, wait, no. Oh, it doesn't allow for rating. Oh, beans. Oh, well.